Good morning from beautiful Tashkent. Today I'm booked on a flight to Samarkand on Uzbekistan Airways Let L-410 aircraft. It's the newest aircraft type. Unfortunately, I don't know if I actually get to fly today because you see I booked my ticket 2 months ago, but for some reason I cannot find today's flight in any flight list in any schedule anymore. I don't know, maybe they cancelled it, but they never notified me. Let's just go to the airport and find out. Right then, made it to Tashkent domestic terminal. That taxi driver was really nice. The hotel called it for me and he only charged me 29,000 som for the ride to the airport, which is way better than yesterday. So yesterday when I arrived after midnight, I had to haggle with the taxi drivers here at the terminal and they charged me 100,000. Well, they went down from 120,000, but still, that was way too much. Unfortunately, as expected, the airline cancelled that flight. So apparently what happened is they did a bit of reshuffling of the flights because there is a new airport, a new airfield opened in Zomin. It's south of here and they do stopovers nowadays. And today's flight would actually continue from Zomin to Bukhara, not to Samarkand. That's why there is no flight to Samarkand today. Unfortunately, they never notified me about it. I've been wrapping my head around what to do now. There would be an option to take the train to Samarkand, but I'm really here to fly on the Let L-410. So what I did instead is I booked a flight to Bukhara tomorrow on the Let L-410. It also goes through Zomin, and hopefully that flight will go. Anyway, I'm gonna find a hotel in Tashkent tonight, and then I guess I'm just gonna explore Tashkent. I will check if there's a bus. There's a bus station, I just don't know where the buses go. Let's see if I can find a bus. The bus station is a bit away from the domestic terminal, so you have to go through a car park. It's right over there. And I have no idea what kind of buses there are, where they go. They're supposedly quite cheap, but I hope I can figure out where they actually go. I imagine there must be a bus to the train station. Doesn't help me much because the train station is far from my hotel. I think this bus goes close to where I need to go, kinda. The driver is on a break now, so people are waiting, but I have a good feeling. Also the buses look very modern, maybe they're even air conditioned. Took me over an hour to get from the airport to the city center here by bus, but now we're here. Actually, the bus system is quite good. Those are electric buses. I didn't realize at first. During the ride, I read an article online saying that by 2025, half of Tashkent's bus fleet will be electric. That's a surprise. And what also surprised me is you can pay by credit card in the bus. There are small contactless paying devices, so you just tap your card. And that's so easy. It costs just 1,400 per ride, or this ride at least. And that's incredibly cheap. It's 11 euro cents. I walked to the hotel, dropped my stuff and went to explore Tashkent for the rest of the day. Early the next day, the hotel arranged a free transfer for me to the airport. Hi. Oh, sorry. Going to Bukhara today via Zomin. I checked in online, but I just need to print a boarding pass. Yep, thank you. See you. Now here in the gate area of the domestic terminal. Tashkent Terminal 3. Past security, there's no one here. The whole gate area is empty. The domestic terminal is on the south side and the international terminal is on the north side. And on the north side you can see all the wide bodies. You can see a Uzbekistan Airways 787, 767. Here in the south you have the ATRs from Silk Avia. And you also have Uzbekistan Airways' smallest and newest fleet member, the Let L-410. The Let 410 was introduced in July, mid-July. They started to use it between Tashkent and Samarkand on a direct flight, but in September that all changed and they introduced the stopover in Zomin. So you can fly now from Tashkent via Zomin to Bukhara, which is what I'm doing today. I have actually never flown on a Let 410. The Let 410 was originally designed in the 1960s, like the initial design. The Let 410 does have one of the worst safety records of any aircraft type, but it has not so much to do with the design of the aircraft itself, but since the Let 410 is operated in like very remote regions by like regional airlines in sometimes very difficult weather conditions, very difficult runway conditions, it has an impact on its safety record. Oh, Uzbekistan 787 just taken off. Very beautiful in the morning sun. I finished the sandwich and then boarding started on time. A bus took us out to the aircraft and I was excited for my first flight on a Let 410.
Во время полета запрещается курить, передвигаться по самолету во время взлета и посадки, пользоваться мобильными телефонами.
Welcome aboard the Let 410, Uzbekistan Airways' newest aircraft, and I think it's actually operated by Uzbekistan helicopters, at least that's from what I gathered, what the pilot said. There was no English. I also think there is no safety briefing, but I mean, it's a small aircraft, you can see the exits, so should be self-explanatory. They have water bottles at the seat. That's such a nice service. By the way, when you board, they take your backpacks and they store it like in the luggage compartment, like in front of the plane. So you cannot actually take your backpack inside. This aircraft feels really fresh and it also smells really fresh. I don't know if it's the one they received in July or the one they received by the end of August, but in any case, you can see it is completely new, like the interior. And they also have these curtains. They're a bit hard to open, but it's pretty cool to have them. Also, the windows are really, really big. All in all, I think, I don't know, it feels like a great regional aircraft. I'm looking forward to see how loud it is. And the legroom is quite nice as well for a small regional aircraft. It's much, much better than on the Antonov 2. Also, the flight is not full at all. There are only 12 other passengers, meaning like when you count me in it's 13, so there are 6 empty seats. And that surprises me because yesterday when I booked the flight, the website said there are only 2 seats left. Well, I don't know. Somehow there's 6 free seats now. Oh, the pilot just called the ramp agent in and they said something like near a water, which means it's not working. I don't know, but hopefully we can fly. They said something about avionics and there's like a lot of switching, a lot of clicking up there. I don't know. I think they fixed it. Something's happening. They closed the door and the pilots seem very excited. So we might be going. Just airborne out of Tashkent, runway 08 right, got half an hour delay, but I don't mind, at least it's not a like 4-hour delay or something. Yeah, but now we're airborne and heading towards Zomin. Flight time is about half an hour. It's definitely quieter than the Antonov 2, so I can actually hear myself talking. Yeah, other than that, it's a bit hazy outside, but still, it's a clear sky and no turbulence is expected. The flight was uneventful, but it was interesting to see the landscape gradually changing from cities to agriculture. There are lots of canals actually, and generally some interesting water infrastructure. It was a rather short flight, and soon we were on the approach to Zomin. After we reached the parking stand, it took almost 5 minutes until the engines were shut down. I was wondering why it took so long. Welcome to Zomin Airport, the newest airfield in Uzbekistan. It's all kind of casual. They let you exit the aircraft and then you can kind of walk around on the apron. I mean, everyone is kind of walking around here. It's kind of cool. Yeah, I think you can also go to the toilet if you need to in the building. Other than that, just waiting for the new passengers to Bukhara, and then we will continue. I hop back inside to get shots of an empty cabin and also a glimpse of the cockpit. So on this leg I have seat 1A, right behind the cockpit. Unfortunately they closed the curtains, so I cannot film out the front, but anyway, it's cool.
Выполняющий рейс Zomin Bukhara. Время в полете составит 40 минут, будет выполняться на высоте 3300 метров. Во время полета запрещается, во время взлета и посадки запрещается передвигаться по самолету.
So airborne out of Zomin, runway 33. Quite funny on takeoff, like right after takeoff you could hear the terrain warning, but that was some false alert. And again, actually there are 6 free seats, so it's not completely full. It's not really much out here, there are not many cities. It's mostly agriculture, like fields, but yeah, looking like an uneventful flight to Bukhara. What also just occurred to me is no one actually checked my boarding pass for the Bukhara flight. Like a couple of people stayed in Zomin and others continued on to Bukhara. but the boarding passes of the people staying were never checked. We passed the Katakokon reservoir, after which the landscape changed to deserts and sandy mountains. It was then a final stretch of wide open plains before we were coming closer to the greens of Bukhara. So just on blocks in Bukhara. What I actually don't understand is, like, we're stopping and then it takes 2 minutes for the engines to shut down, and it's actually the same on startup. Finally made it to Bukhara. It's interesting, they have like statues of hunters out there by the runway. I'm guessing it's to prevent birds from getting too close to the runway. I actually saw a flock of birds on approach, but I don't know how helpful that is. And of course, people trying to sell you a taxi again. I don't want to take a taxi. Actually, there should be a bus stop over there somewhere. Yeah, it's quite funny. The taxi driver actually called someone who spoke English, and then the lady on the other end of the line asked me what I wanted from the taxi driver and like where I wanted to go. But I said, I don't want anything from him. I want to take the bus. Anyway. Let's see if we can find a bus, because if I don't find a bus and I have to go back to the taxi driver, that would be very embarrassing. So I hope the bus works out. So I found a bus stop, like right outside the airport, but it appears it only goes every 2 hours, if I interpret the sign correctly. And I also don't know where it goes. I suppose it goes to the center, but I don't know. Okay, so I just used Google Translate, and actually the 7 seems to be the interval time, so it should come every 7 minutes, which does not seem likely right now. And the times it shows above is just the time of the day in which the interval is valid, but it's like always 7 minutes. Anyway, I've been here for like 5 minutes already, but so far nothing has showed up. I don't think the 7 minutes are actually valid. Yeah, maybe let's take a taxi after all. I don't think the bus is operating. God, that is embarrassing to go back there. Actually, the airport was really empty. Like, this was the only flight coming in now. So maybe there is no taxi at all. Yeah, no driver here. And also no other drivers. There's absolutely no one here. How do I get to the city? I mean, I could walk to the city center, but it's like over an hour of a walk, and I'm not sure if I really want to do this. Actually, there's a taxi. Yeah, so that was interesting. He definitely overcharged me. So at the airport, like I told him I want to go to that tower here. And then he was like, okay, 50,000. And that's like already way too much. The normal rate would be like 20,000. And then I was like, okay, I can give you 30. In the end, we agreed on 40. But, you know, there's a reason why this channel is called Walking to Airports and not taking a taxi to airports. Because I'm so bad at haggling around. Like, that's definitely twice the normal price. Yeah, but anyway, we're here now at the Bukhara Tower, and there's also a fortress of some kind. Just hoping to get some lunch soon, and I have no idea how to get back to the airport. Maybe I'll just walk, I don't know, we'll see. So that's it for this video. Leave a comment and subscribe if you like, and I will see you for the next flight, which is tonight. Until then, enjoy your travels.